Football coach Mel Tucker is back in the news, and that's not good for Michigan State. Locked on Big Ten starts right now.
You are Locked on Big Ten, your daily podcast on the Big Ten Conference. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to Locked on Big Ten. I'm Craig Sheeman. 40 years as a sports talk show host and play-by-play announcer, and I want to thank you for making us your first listen each and every day. We are free and available wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Hit that free subscribe button down below while you're watching, and you won't miss a single episode ever. Today's episode is brought to you by 5-Hour Energy. Head to 5hourenergy.com to find over 15 flavors to choose from. Need one now? Grab a 5-Hour Energy shot at your local grocery or convenience store. Stock up today and stay energized. So, add recruiting violations to the Mel Tucker problems from yesteryear at Michigan State. We'll have some more Big Ten news as well. The ladies get going with the Final Four, including UCLA. And we'll have our picks for men's and women's Final Four at the end. Hang for that. But first, the Detroit News is reporting that Michigan State is under investigation for alleged recruiting violations within the football program under former fired football coach Mel Tucker. The NCAA is all over this. The school president confirmed the story and said that he has a meeting with the NCAA within the next week to discuss the allegations. The report also says that Michigan State is fully cooperating with the NCAA. So immediately, three things come to mind. First of all, hasn't Michigan State and its fans been through enough with the Mel Tucker era to begin with? Now this. The other thing, recruiting violations. I mean, we're in an era where anything goes. Kids are getting paid now. What could have Mel Tucker have done that would warrant an NCAA investigation? Nobody knows yet. No details yet. I don't know. Can't speculate. And the third thing, nobody's there in East Lansing from the Mel Tucker era. His coaches and players are all gone. So what kind of punishment is the NCAA going to bring down? And anything they do would be unfair to Coach Jonathan Smith and the players that he has there as he's trying to, get a second year in the program, get it to take flight here. Any kind of punishment would be devastating to Michigan State at this time. And everybody there, nobody had anything to do with this. So, I'm just saying right now, it's Smith's second season. And by the way, it's hard to believe that Mel Tucker was actually coaching games in East Lansing 2 seasons ago. That seems like ancient history, doesn't it? When Mel Tucker took over at Michigan State in 2020, he had some early success over there, and there was a lot of optimism with the program, a lot of optimism. It got giddy fast. I mean, at first it was a struggle. I mean, it was a struggle for everybody. It was 2020. It was COVID year. Michigan State finished 2-5. But in 2021, Mel Tucker and Michigan State was on a roll. Everybody noticed. They busted out with an 11-2 record. And that year they destroyed the Miami Hurricanes. I was on the road, 38-17. They beat rival Michigan 37-33. That was the game where Kenneth Walker III had 5 touchdowns and 197 yards. They beat Penn State 30-27. And they beat Pitt in the Peach Bowl. It was a great year. People in East Lansing were ecstatic. In fact, they all said, let's tear up this contract of this new coach. Let's give him a new one. Let's give him a humongous one. They sure did. It was a huge eye-opener at the time, and it still is to this day. It was a 10-year, $95 million deal. Everybody's like, yeah, we like this 11-2. Let's go. At the time, it was the third biggest contract ever given to a football coach at a public university. But then in December of 2022, he was accused of sexual harassment. And this was in relation to a female vendor of the athletic department. And to this day, Tucker says his relationship was consensual, but he was ultimately fired by Michigan State shortly into the 2023 season. And he has sued back for wrongful termination. The alleged victim in the case is suing Tucker now in a civil case for defamation. In fact, we had a report last week that said she has been unable to locate Mel Tucker because she wants to serve him papers. Apparently, he's been laying low. And then this story breaks out. So, boom, all of a sudden, Mel Tucker all over the place. Been kind of forgotten at this point. So the Spartans moved on. They hired Jonathan Smith, his quarterback, Aiden Childs. They're trying to help Michigan State turn the page, do something different, move on. And now these allegations come from the NCAA. Something happened during the Mel Tucker era that the NCAA is just now coming around on. Either they just found out or they've been investigating and they've decided to come forward. And I'm as curious as anybody to see what this is and how severe this is. Are these level 1? Are they level 2? You know, it's possible Michigan State doesn't even know that much until their president meets with the NCAA within the next week. Michigan State Associate Athletic Director Matt Larson, he says that the NCAA rules don't allow the university to provide any further details on the issue at this time. So they found out about it. Now it's mum's the word. Nobody's saying anything. We don't know anything. So stay tuned. It's out there. That we do know. Love to hear from you, Michigan State fan. I mean, you got to just be disheartened by this. Hopefully it's not that serious. Hopefully it's level 2 or something like that. And again, Mel Tucker's gone. Let it go. Meanwhile, Tom Izzo's basketball team remains in the news just days after their season ended with their Elite Eight run and their loss to Auburn in the NCAA basketball tournament. Guard and team captain Trey Holloman shocked a lot of people. He announced that he's entering the transfer portal. He was previously expected to return for his senior year, but apparently not. Maybe he will. Maybe this is a play. But first, I'll tell you that reserve guard Garrick Norman and forward Xavier Booker are leaving as well. At least they're in the transfer portal. Now, there are some that think that Holloman may still come back to East Lansing, that this is some sort of name, image, and likeness leverage play. I don't know that he's going to be a professional basketball player. This might be his last chance to get some big cash. I don't know. Others thought it was an April Fool's joke. It wasn't. He's in the portal. Take it seriously. Just last week, Izzo, who's 70 years old and has just coached his 16th Sweet 16 at Michigan State, he said the rules of college basketball are ridiculous. And he pointed out how kids still alive in the NCAA tournament can enter the transfer portal and all these things that are around college sports. We hear coaches talk about it all the time. But one has to wonder, at his age, at age 70, his legacy is secure. How much longer does Izzo want to keep coaching basketball? I don't know. I'm as curious as anybody. I'm not sitting here predicting he's going to retire. Obviously, the end is sooner than later at his age. If he goes another 2-3 years, or if he announces this offseason, I don't know. I don't have any inside information on that. Just kind of thinking it through a little bit. Again, would love to hear from you Spartan fans out there with the comments. Whatever you do, hit the subscribe button for free. It's just that quick. Doesn't take any time, and that way you'll never miss another episode. And don't forget, you early morning commuters, we have an audio only version of our podcast, this very same podcast on audio. If you get, Apple or Spotify or wherever you get your podcast, you get it 2 hours earlier than this video podcast comes out each and every morning. In the wee early hours, you want audio only for your car ride into work. Maybe you're still driving in the dark. You're one of those people that have to drive early, want to listen to something. Just keep in mind, we're out there. We have audio version and the video here. And don't forget to check out our website, talkbig10.com. That's where all of our podcasts go. And also you can pick up some Michigan State Big Ten gear, shirts, hats, T-shirts, all right there at your fingertips for your convenience. All right, lots to get to here. From the Michigan State investigation to the federal case against former Michigan assistant Matt Weiss. The real difference between defensive coordinators Jim Knowles and Matt Patricia in the Big Ten and UCLA women. Get ready for the Final Four tonight. All that's coming up right here. We'll have our picks later for both men's and women's Final Four right here on Locked On Big Ten. Life moves pretty fast, especially when you have a family, right? And one day you're watching your kids take the first steps. The next thing, they're all grown up. So life moves on, and you want to secure their future. That's important. So Fabric by Gerber. Fabric by Gerber Life makes it simple to get term life insurance that fits your family's needs. With Fabric, you can apply for term life insurance online right from your couch. Be covered in 10 minutes like that. And in many cases, no health exam is required. Gives you peace of mind as a parent. It's affordable coverage. You get $1 million of coverage for less than $1 a day. And Fabric also offers free digital wills and access to investment accounts to help you plan for your children's future. Join the thousands of parents who trust Fabric to help protect their families. Apply today in just minutes at meetfabric.com/lockedoncollege. That's meetfabric.com/lockedoncollege. Policies issued by Western Southern Life Insurance Company, not available in certain states. Prices subject to underwriting and health questions. Prize Picks, basketball season, baseball season. I mean, it's here. It's all overlapping right now. And with the baseball season, I might add, there's no better way to get in on the action than with Prize Picks. It's the best place for daily fantasy sports. With Prize Picks, you pick more or less on at least 2 player projections and what they're going to do in a particular ball game. And if you're right, you can win up to 1,000 times your cash, whether it's strikeouts, RBIs, first inning runs. Prize Picks keeps every game even more exciting. You can build your lineup and say, for example, I'm picking Aaron Judge for more than 1 home run and Shohei Ohtani for more than a stolen base. Combine them. It's that easy. Setting up a lineup takes less than 60 seconds. It's safe. It's secure. It's quick. Early payouts, quick as well. And you can always take advantage of Taco Tuesday, where Prize Picks offers discounts on select player projections for even more value. Download the app today and use the code LOCKEDONCollege and get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code LOCKEDONCollege for $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. Remember, Prize Picks. Run your game. Thanks for making Locked On Big Ten your first listen each and every day, especially you everydayers out there. Meanwhile, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below, please, and share, follow, and like Locked On Big Ten, your team every day. And don't forget to check out our website, talkbig10.com. So we have a follow-up to last month's story about the federal charges filed against former Michigan quarterback coach Matt Weiss for allegedly hacking into thousands of athletes' accounts at hundreds of schools, where he is accused of seeking intimate digital photographs and photos and videos of female athletes. Over a dozen women are suing the University of Michigan and Weiss. 11 filed a federal class action suit, according to the Detroit News. That brings the number to 17 women who have filed suits so far. There's more coming. There's no question. In all, federal prosecutors filed 24 charges against him. From the courtroom onto the field, USC landed a commitment from a former Ducks pledge, defensive tackle Tomohini Tupue. And the Trojans continue to build what is looking like the best recruiting class in the country, the class of 2026. He is the third-rated defensive tackle in the country, 6'4", 295 pounds. He is also the Trojans' 11 in-state commit for 2026. So they're making an effort now to keep the kids in California. He comes from Mater Dei High School, which has produced the likes of Matt Leinart, Matt Barkley, and Amon-Ra St. Brown. Bit of a pipeline right there for USC. It should also be noticed that this is the second flip from Oregon to USC. 2 months ago, Lincoln Riley got 4-star quarterback Jonas Williams, the number 2 dual threat quarterback in the country for the class of 2026, to turn on Dan Lanning and the Ducks and go to USC. So something's going on. Maybe it's that new general manager that they hired over there at USC, the one they got from Notre Dame. Meanwhile, story to keep an eye on Locked On Big Ten. Conference powerhouses Penn State and Ohio State, they have new high-profile defensive coordinators. Of course, these storylines throughout the spring and into the fall are going to be fun to watch. First of all, Ohio State had its opening for a defensive coordinator because Jim Knowles left for Penn State almost as soon as the Buckeyes championship parade began. James Franklin is already marveling at Knowles, kind of his ability to see it all. He also says Knowles is a man of few words, very quiet guy, including at staff meetings where he just takes his notes and then he says what he needs to say, and that's it. Man of few words, but impactful words. And Franklin loves Knowles' attention to detail. Meanwhile, Knowles was replaced in Columbus by Matt Patricia, former Lions head coach and Patriots longtime defensive coordinator, Matt Patricia. And so far, he's drawing rave reviews. Safeties coach Matt Guerrieri says that he loves learning from Patricia every day. He says he's been phenomenal. And the players say it's been refreshing to have a coach who spends a lot of time with the players. Apparently, Knowles didn't do that. That's what I heard from their comments. So clearly he has a different approach than Knowles did. Anyway, it's going to be interesting to see how these two defenses go, and they may be playing for the whole conference championship at the end of the season with some elite defenses. We'll see. I would expect elite defenses from both of these teams again this upcoming season. All right, it's a big day. It's finally here. Today, the UCLA Bruins lady basketball team, they play tonight in the women's Final Four. They're in the late game, and it features the presumptive number one pick of the WNBA draft in UConn's Paige Buchers and Lauren Betts from UCLA. And the game is at 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific on ESPN if you want to catch it. UConn's a 7.5-point favorite here. I'm going to pick that game in our segment coming up next. And then, of course, the winner will take on the winner of the Texas game versus the defending national champion South Carolina Gamecocks. So that should be a good game, too. Tip-off there is scheduled 7 o'clock tonight, 4 o'clock Eastern on ESPN. South Carolina is a 5.5-point favorite in that game. I should also point out here that UCLA's Corey Close, head coach, named the AP Women's Basketball Coach of the Year. Congratulations to her. And she just led the Bruins to their first ever Final Four. And they were the number one ranked team in America in the AP poll for like 14 weeks this year. And in another big deal, USC's Juju Watkins, unfortunately she's been hurt, was named the AP Women's College Basketball Player of the Year. Congratulations to her. The Trojans won the Big Ten regular season and their first conference crown in 31 years. So love to hear from you on all that, Trojan and UCLA fans, and good luck to the UCLA Bruins as they get ready to play tonight in the Final Four. That'll be fantastic. It'll be a lot of fun to watch. In the meantime, we're gonna pick all the men's games and the women's games. We got our picks on Friday. It's what we do. If you are new to our podcast, we always have a feature at the end that we always like to share with you. On Mondays, we do my top 10 Big Ten observations. On Tuesdays, we do Tuesday tweets. Wednesdays, we are power ranking something, whether it be our own standings, other things we like, projections. We always do some power rankings. On Thursday, take a look at the Big Ten Network. Even though we're not affiliated with them, we have many of the same interests, and we do Big Ten Classics and Big Ten Live Action. We just highlight some things over the weekend you might want to watch on the Big Ten Network. Not all of them, just, again, it's kind of a highlight, pick and choose. And then on Fridays, we make our picks, whether it's football season, basketball season, whatever the case is. We make our picks. If we're in the off season, we look at odds, Heisman odds, win totals, that kind of stuff. We always have fun with all that. So coming up next, we'll take a look at our picks going into the weekend right here on Locked On Big Ten. 5-hour energy. You know, we got extra daylight now, daylight savings time. We're getting into the spring and summer months, and you got extra time, extra daylight to do stuff. You're going to need more energy sometimes, whether you're having fun, extra round of golf after work, maybe some chores, running some honeydews, whatever the case. You need to make up for that lack of energy with 5-hour energy. And maybe you're staying up late watching sports. Just go ahead and get yourself that extra round of 5-hour energy. Gives you the quick, refreshing pick-me-up whenever you need it. And whether it be the longer days or the fun, or maybe playing some hoops or some golf afterward, after a long day, get an extra boost with 5-hour energy. I like it because if I'm driving at night and the lanes are getting a little blurry because I'm tired, a little shot of 5-hour energy will do it. And it's convenient. It's everywhere. We got an offer here. You can head to 5hourenergy.com to find over 15 flavors to choose from, including watermelon, blue raspberry, and peach mango. And you can even build your own 12-pack or 24-pack. You can mix the flavors if you want. Delivered right to your door. If you need one now, go grab a 5-hour energy shot at your local grocery or convenience store. They're absolutely everywhere. They really are, right there at the counter. Stock up today and stay energized with 5-hour energy. Today's episode is brought to you by Epicor. Every team knows that, values of hard work and all these kind of things, like taking pride in what you build and practicing every detail to get the best results. But no player, no one person, no matter how amazing, can do it all alone. So working together makes getting the win easier. And at Epicor, the All-Stars are the hardworking manufacturers and distributors who create and deliver the things we all need, from aerospace to electrical to medical devices, everything. Epicor ERP solutions are created by industry experts to help make every day easier. Seeing your whole supply chain is easier. Managing logistics is easier. Responding to price changes is easier. From small business to big dreams to growing enterprises with global vision, will equip you with the right tools to move forward, think ahead, and lead the way. Because as the clock ticks down, you need to make the most of every hard working minute. Easier doesn't cut corners. Easier takes the lead. Discover your success at www.easierwithepicor.com. That's www.easierwithepicor.com.
The NCAA tournament is here, and so is the Bracket Breakdown.
Locked On Podcast Network and Amazon Fire TV channels are teaming up to deliver NCAA tournament coverage like never before. Watch studio shows featuring former players and Locked On's local experts as they guide you through every upset, buzzer beater, and bracket matchup.
Stream it all for free on Amazon Fire TV channel. Search Bracket Breakdown to see it all for free.
It's your team every day.
All right, it's time now to make our picks and go on the record here on Locked On Big Ten, because that's what we do every Friday going into the weekend. We're going to look at the Final Four for both men's and women's. I'm going to put it on screen. If you're audio only, no problem. Don't worry about it. We'll describe it in detail. We'll start off with the women's Final Four. On here, we got a graphic. We got Texas versus South Carolina. The South Carolina Gamecocks are the defending national champions. They are 5.5-point favorites, and I do like the South Carolina Gamecocks. Feels like an easy pick. I'll take the Gamecocks to cover the 5.5. Meanwhile, UConn at UCLA. UConn with Paige Buchers. UCLA with Lauren Betts. UConn is a 7.5-point favorite. That's right. The Bruins 7.5-point dogs here. UConn may win, but they're not going to win by 7.5, 8 points. Give me UCLA and the points on that one, and good luck to the Lady Bruins. All right. Now, on to the men's Final Four. We'll look at the Florida Gators. We got Walter Clayton, who is just one of those hot shooters, taking on Auburn. Florida is a 2.5-point favorite. The over-under on this number is 159.5. I am concerned about Auburn's John I. Broome with the injury. He had the double injury against Michigan State on one play, a hyperextended elbow and rolled ankle. If he gets knocked into that elbow, how's he going to be? I'll bet he'll be okay at tip-off, but we'll see if he gets knocked into it a little bit. I like the Florida Gators. I picked them in my bracket on day one to win it all. It's about the only thing I got right. No, I'm just kidding. I got some right. But I'm going with the Florida Gators in this one to win. And Houston versus Duke. Duke is a 4.5-point favorite. I'll tell you what, Duke's on a roll. Cooper Flag. Duke's going to win and cover the 4.5. Here's the deal, though. The over-under is 135.5. You are about to see a defensive display. We saw that Duke has the ability to turn the screws on defense, and Houston is probably the best defense, I think, scoring defense in the country. This is going to be a low-scoring game. So I'll take the under 135.5. All right, we're not done. We got some other stuff here for you. These are the actual odds to go ahead and win through the weekend and win the championship. Duke is plus 220. 100 gets you $220. Meanwhile, Florida at plus 410. Houston at plus 500, as is Auburn. I've seen some odds where Auburn's a little higher than that, maybe plus 550 as well. Again, with Cooper Flag and the Duke defense, I like their chances. but I've picked Florida. Florida is 10 to 12 deep. Todd Golden has done a great job. That's my pick to win it all at plus 410. Houston, Kelvin Sampson, they're like a number one seed every year. And again, with Auburn, going to be watching that John I. Broome situation. But give me the Florida Gators. But Duke is the favorite at plus 220. There's a look at our picks going into this weekend of the Final Four. What do you think? Let me know. You got a different opinion? Would love to hear it. Got the same opinion? Would love to hear it. There are many ways for you to interact with this podcast, of course, at Twitter or X at Talk Big Ten, and also our website, talkbig10.com with the number 10. Get your merchandise there. Watch all of our other podcasts. Whatever you do, hit that subscribe button for free. That way you'll never miss an episode of Locked On Big Ten. And you early morning people, don't forget, we got an audio-only version is out even earlier, 2 hours earlier in the morning, wherever you get your podcast, Apple, Spotify, whatever the case may be. Feel free to check us out there as well. All right, have a great weekend. Enjoy the Final Four for the men and the women. We'll have champions and things to talk about on Monday for sure, and more spring football. Love it. Tell your friends about us. We're here each and every day. I know you have a Big Ten friend or alum friend or whatever. They don't even know we're out here every day. All 18 teams, all news, analysis, opinion, all under one umbrella. It's Locked On Big Ten. Check us out. Tell them to check us out. In the meantime, have a great weekend. Talk to you on Monday. I'm Craig Sheeman for Locked On Big Ten.